Hi, welcome to my garden. It's late May and spring has sprung. We had a really late snow here in the foothills in May, so it didn't quite feel like spring. It was still feeling like winter up until just recently. And after we had a late May snow, we had beautiful sunny warm days. And so nature is wild right now. Since the last video I made, I've done quite a bit of clearing and making space for things. Had some strawberries popping up here. Lettuce, red lettuce, broccoli, and so many flowers for the pollinators. Another patch of lettuce there. One of the messages coming through for me right now is slowing down even more while I'm being active. The slowing down part is actually just an invitation to be so mindful in every step and movement I make in the garden right now. Because we have, within the last 3 days, come across 2 rattlesnakes. One here in the garden and another right out on our driveway. So nature's reminding me that when you are living out here in nature, in the wild, that you must, for your own safety, be mindful of every step you take. I used to have gloves that covered my entire forearm up to my elbows, but with the gardening I do, they only lasted 1 season, and so it's time to get another pair of proper gloves. Gotta have the right equipment and the right tools to match the environment I'm in. DM was suggesting I look into a pair of overalls, like maybe a pair of work overalls like Carhartt or something that are really thick. And I'm now wearing my rain rubber boots in the garden. Yeah, I was just enjoying being able to walk barefoot everywhere. And yeah, I'm listening to the messages I'm getting from nature and applying all of the tools and resources that allow me to do what I love, protected. The garden is a metaphor of my life. I love that it shows me that I can play a part, that I've got a role as a co-creator for like growing food, for example. Jalapenos there, bell peppers over there, snap peas. We've got tomatoes in there, parsley, chives, garlic, more tomatoes. I've got some banana peppers, celery, and but it reminds me that I am the co-creator, like an equal partner in this, and that nature loves when I leave it in its wild form while co-creating within that. So I'm aware also of how important it is to leave certain things to feed nature in this environment. If I don't leave some fruits and plants for the earwigs and the, what do ladybugs love to eat? Aphids. Then they eat all of the food that I'm intending to grow to eat. And nature helps me to practice non-attachment, because out of everything I grow for food production and herbs, I actually end up receiving about 40% of it, because nature enjoys the rest. The first year that I grew watermelon, the fox waited until they were all ripe and then ate out of every single one in one night, and I didn't get a single watermelon. So, oh, here's some seeds that I've got drying for next year. This is from kale, our kale plant. And so we got all of these seed pods, and inside are so many. Oh, it's still so very fresh. I'll come back when those have dried some to show you. Yeah, there's so much to do in the garden. I love it, because as one thing is blooming and growing, another is flowering and seeding. Oh, so much to do, and it is truly what I love doing. I got onions and chives and garlic here. This I've just removed. Working in the garden helps me to practice discernment all of the time. I am discerning what a weed is to me. What is a weed? What do I consider a weed? I consider a weed any plant that is parasitic, like a parasite in the garden. Any plant that creates disharmony with the other life in the garden, for me, is parasitic, is a weed. So I pull those. Now, plants that grow together harmoniously, miner's lettuce, squash, zucchini, gladiolas. This is like a false chamomile. It's really pretty. Lemon balm. That is spaghetti squash. marigolds, those I just leave in their natural state to grow together. Potatoes, so many potatoes. Marigolds, snapdragons, and something like this is got tons of it grows spiky and thorny and sort of takes over an area if you don't get it. And it's important to get the root, because this species here, if you pull from the top and you don't access the root and get all of the root out, then it actually grows back multiplied. So instead of one head, this will have 3. Yeah, and so, like, tuning into the garden as a metaphor for life, we can learn that just like with our own traumas and experiences that create dis-ease or disharmony in us, if we just remove the top layers and we don't get to the root and remove the root, then the issues or the symptoms or the dis-eases multiply. Isn't that, it's funny, right? How nature just mimics to us what we experience. I mean, ultimately, it's because we are all one. We are nature, and nature is us. There is no separation. I have learned so much about life, my own life, and experienced healing my own diseases naturally by just being a full-time student of nature in the garden. Being open and receptive to all that nature is sharing with me as a mirrored reflection of my own life, of the life cycles that I'm going through, and my connectedness to all of life. Just had a bee land on my head. Creating the time to just be still, quiet, listening in nature is a gift that all of us deserve to give to ourselves, because experiencing nature in this way is therapeutic, especially for those living very, very busy lives. To slow down and just be receptive in nature is a form of therapy. It's healing. This is where the other rattlesnake was a couple days ago. Diem was chopping wood there, and it slithered right into the garden bed here. And then he took its head off there, and for, oh gosh, I don't know, like 20 minutes, even though the head and the body were separated, each time the cat or we like inspected it, the body would move in the same slithering way as if it wanted to attack, even though it no longer had its head. Nature is so intelligent, as are we. We are so intelligent. Our bodies, the systems and organs that make up who we are, all so intelligent and all reflected through nature for us to observe and learn from. What a gift. It's early, so the fishies are just waking up. Fishy fishies, here's your food now. Fishy fishies, come eat your food now. Come eat your food now. If you're hungry, little fishies, it's there for you. All right, they're up now. Well, friends, thank you for spending a little bit of your time to come and enjoy the garden with me this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you may be, whatever time it is, it's all the same. Blessings to you, dear ones. Thank you for being here.